Hi there, it's Marie, and welcome to Real Life on the Homestead in Ontario. Today I'm going to be doing a recipe that is quite healthy. It's good for anyone, but it's especially good to fit into that carnivore diet. It's simply eggs, but eggs in a almost dessert-like manner. Now, in the morning, a lot of families give their kids cereal or peanut butter and jam sandwiches. Not the best breakfasts. In the Chinese culture, and I believe other Asian cultures, but I know for sure the Chinese culture, what they do is they do a steamed egg pudding for their breakfast. And it's very, very simple. Just basically eggs and water, and it's steamed, and that's their breakfast. And kids grow up having that, a very high nutritious food that they tend to slurp and enjoy. So it's like a fun jello kind of meal, which makes it fun to eat, and kids love it. It's like their oatmeal. But I made it. I found it kind of bland. And then I tried some flavorings. So what I'm going to do is show you how to make a basic and how you could deviate from there. And you too can enjoy this really fantastic way to have eggs. So let's get some of the eggs that I just went and got from the coop. Now, I've just basically cracked a bunch of eggs, placed them in a bowl, and whisked them up together. That's just so I can have my egg mixture. Now I'm gonna move that over. I use these 4-cup Pyrex bowls. They work for me. You can use any type of bowl. And let me tell you, this is something that they say you can steam in an Instant Pot. I've done it in the Instant Pot, and I've done it on the stovetop. For this, I prefer the stovetop, and I'll tell you why. It's because I can monitor how the eggs are cooking. In the Instant Pot, I'd have to open it, check it, steam gets on top of the egg custard, and I don't want to do that. So this is what we're going to use as our vessel. I have a little wire basket. You don't need to have this. You could just put like, let me grab that, let's say a trivet at the bottom of your pot. Anything to just keep the bowl off the bottom. These are Instant Pot utensils, but you can use anything. Just keep your bowl off the bottom of the pot because we're going to steam this. I really like doing it this way, and it's been working for me because I place it in the basket, and then I could just put the basket inside my pot. And I'll show you that at the stove later. But what we're gonna do is it's exactly equal part egg mixture to equal parts liquid. So the traditional steamed egg pudding that the Chinese do, and I'm just looking for a cup measure, is you do equal part egg mixture, equal part liquid. So the traditional one is egg and water. Simple enough, and you steam that. I personally found that a bit bland. And sometimes you get an aversion to your food if your palate isn't entertained. So what I've done is I always have leftover coffee in the morning in the coffee pot, especially since I've cut down to just 1 cup of coffee. So what I did is I actually saved the leftover coffee, and I'm going to use that as my liquid. I've done this before, and I gotta tell you, I tasted it when it was warm, and it was disgusting. I thought, what a fail. But then I put it in the fridge, and I tell you, I absolutely loved it. It was so nice. So here we have 1 cup of eggs. I'm gonna do 1 cup of coffee. I don't know how much coffee I have, so this is why I'm doing it one at a time. So that's equal parts. Okay, so that was 1.5 cups of coffee, so I need another 1/2 cup of eggs. Just grab that spoon. Just gonna mix that up. Now, you could flavor it with a little bit of vanilla. If you're not on carnivore, you can add a sweetener. I found that this is a nice flavor. I don't normally sweeten my coffee, so this works well for me. So I'm just gonna place that in there, and I'm gonna take you over to the stove so you can see how this cooks. Now, all you need is a pot that is large enough to fit your bowl in. Like I said, you can put a rack at the bottom so your bowl does not touch the bottom. You're going to be steaming this. What I don't like about using this rack is it's very hot to place your bowl in there, so it's not my preferred method. What I've done is, like I said, I use a steam basket, and that way I can place the whole thing in there, not burn my fingers lifting the bowl up and down. Also, what I like about this basket is just a tiny bit over my pot, because when you put your lid on to steam, as you can see, I have put, I didn't really show you, just put about 1 inch of water in there. You don't want your bowl touching it. But when you put your lid on, you don't want it to completely seal and cover. I actually leave just a little edge like that for it to steam up, because you don't want any condensation falling onto your pudding. Now, I'm trying to flavor any foods, puddings, yogurts, trying to flavor things so that I don't get my palate blanded out with this carnivore adventure of mine. And if you're doing carnivore, you know the importance of electrolytes, and it's not in the form of Gatorade or Powerade. Those are all full of crap and sugars. LMNT is what I recommend, and I am not sponsored by them, but I do have a link that you can use, which they help me promote to people. So if you use my link that I'll put in the description box, I'll also put it down here, but easier to grab off the description box. What you're going to receive from LMNT with your first purchase is a variety pack for free. So that variety pack will give you all the flavors, and then you can choose what works best for you. For my water, I just like a plain, unflavored, nothing added. But what I've done is I've been using the flavored ones to flavor things like my puddings, my yogurt, cheesecake. There's a lot of flavors to choose from. And for this custard pudding, steamed pudding, what I'm using is the chocolate melody. The chocolate melody is, I think it's time limited. It's a great hot drink. It feels like you're having a cocoa, but you're getting your electrolytes. You have 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, 60 milligrams of magnesium. That is a well-balanced electrolyte formula. And these flavors are chocolate mint, chocolate chai, and chocolate raspberry. Those are delicious. So I'm going to actually do a pudding now, another steamed pudding, and I'm going to try the chocolate raspberry because I think that would make a really, really tasty treat. What I'm going to do is put my electrolytes into my liquid. I've measured out my eggs already, and I have 1.5 cups of these. So with 1.5 cups of eggs, I need 1.5 cups of, oh, isn't this interesting? It's totally locked. There we go. You'll have 1.5 cups of liquid. So I did my liquid. I really don't want to lose any of these electrolytes, so I'm trying to mix in the bowl really well before I add it to my egg mixture. And let me just show you what I'm doing. There we go. Now with the electrolytes, there is, because they're salt, you get a little salty flavor, but you do get accustomed to a salty flavor back note, and that's what you want. You want your salts. Okay, there's just a little bit at the bottom of the bowl that I don't want to lose. So let's mix that up again. Perfect. And this, once my other steamed pudding is done, I will steam this one up. Now, this is one that I had made a couple days ago. It's in the fridge. This was 6 eggs. I cut it up into quarters in the bowl. I do want you to see the texture on this. It looks almost like a mousse. Now, I'm happy to eat it this way. If you wanted to flavor it, I would recommend a little drizzle of maple syrup if you're still having sugars. If you're not, this is almost like a unsweetened cappuccino. It is delicious. Now, saying that, instead of using water, you could use milk as well and create almost like a flan custard. But I pull this up, bring you back to looking at me. There we go. And I just want to show you the texture is very nice. It's very silky. I did not like this hot, but I adore it cold chilled. I can easily eat 6 eggs and not even think twice about it because that flavor is so good. I love the flavor of coffee, and I'm dying to try this one now with the chocolate raspberry because I guarantee you that'll be delicious. This is a must try. Absolutely no reason not to try that. It's delicious. And I just keep it in my bowl with its lid in the fridge. If I get a snack attack, I have that. Can't go wrong. In the comment section, please let me know if there's other types of flavorings that you'd like to see and how we can work them in. I'm avoiding sugars, but there's alternatives. Using the LMNT flavored is amazing. I actually use the lime to flavor my yogurts. It's the citrus, it's not lime. It is incredible. I absolutely love that. Also, they have a watermelon flavor. That is fantastic in yogurt as well. So you can play with electrolytes to flavor your foods and give yourself that almost, I'm having a dessert or I'm having a treat, but you're sticking to that carnivore diet. Let's get back to the stove and see what's happening there. Time to check on how the steamed pudding is doing. It is fluffing up, which means that the temperature was a little too high. But see how it jiggles? The center is still jiggling a little bit too much. That moisture, I have a way to deal with it. So let me just grab a piece of paper towel and show you. When there's too much condensation on top, and it sometimes happens with the steam, I just place a piece of paper towel, and let me just grab a spoon there. And I just press down with the spoon gently, just enough to soak up the moisture. There we go. A little bit more there. Now, most people like it at this jiggly stage. I like it just a little bit more done. See all these little bubbles? Means I was cooking it at too high of a temperature. So the lower temperature, the smoother and silkier it is, but this is just fine. Don't stress over these things. It looks like it's cooking good. So what I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna shut off my heat and just let it sit in there for a little while. Well, our coffee flavored is done, and see the texture? It jiggles. This is what you want. That is cooked. It's gonna cool down, and then I'll place it in the fridge. Like I said, I do not like it warm. You can try it warm and see how you like it. I know that's how it's traditionally eaten, is warm. No, it just didn't do it for me. And here is the raspberry chocolate. I'm just gonna mix that up again because it looks like the electrolyte powder tries to float. So I'm gonna get that going and get this on the stove and cook as well. By the way, this one took a total of 10 minutes. I think I could have cooked it at 12 minutes at a lower temperature. Well, our raspberry chocolate is done, and I was more patient with this one. So this took 12 minutes at a lower temperature, and look at how beautiful it is. See how it didn't foam up as the last one? There you go. That's what happens when you try to do YouTube videos. You rush stuff, but that is perfect. I'm going to shut off the heat and just let it sit, and that's it. We are done. Well, how simple was that? We've just made a nutritious pudding that doesn't take a lot of effort, doesn't take a lot of ingredients, is good as a carnivore treat, as well as a good breakfast for anybody, carnivore or not. If you're not doing carnivore, I suggest you just drizzle a little bit of maple syrup on top. We'll give it a wonderful, almost creme brulee flan flavor. But I'm happy to just have it plain, and with the electrolytes, flavored electrolytes that is, from LMNT, you can flavor it in so many different ways. So I hope you've enjoyed my little adventure with traditional steamed egg pudding. And if you do like this type of content, please like, subscribe, share with your friends, get notified of my next recipe that I'm trying to incorporate both for my family and for myself on the carnivore diet. But for now, this is what we've done, and you go out, do what makes you happy, and live your best life.